lot of frivolities you got to give up. I think my husband gave up his BMW. There are things you've got to give up to say, right, okay, we can't afford this. If we're going to do this, it means this bits must go to allow us build, and then we can then move on forward. So it's, like being able to sit down, go through your finance again. What can what are the nice to have in your finance, that all the luxury items in your budget and your monthly budget that would need to take a back seat while you're trying to build something more sustainable for the future. So you look at location. So now, when we started out, like, we looked for properties that were cheap and affordable, like really cheap, that we could afford to buy. Because again, like, that's why I said the difference between buying a property you're going to live in is very different to buying the property you're going to invest in. Now, the typical person will probably want to say, oh, I live in, my standard or my taste is this kind of house. And then so when I'm looking for an investment property, I want to buy. But no, you're not the one that's going to live in it. If you're buying it to keep and whatever, you're not going to live in it. So you can't buy a property with that same mindset. However, if you want to buy a property to flip, you've also got to think about, okay, right, what property would I buy that typically a typical first-time buyer or somebody looking to invest in properties or whatever would easily look like it and buy it off me immediately. So you also don't want to go, like, one of the first areas we went into was a typical buy and hold type area, like you buy to let, that kind of area. So if you're going to go and flip in that kind of area, chances are you won't get the kind of margins that you're looking for that would make it worth your while. So you've got to think about the location, or the location has to be right in terms of it's a kind of area where properties get recycled a little bit faster than where most people are just there renting. So it's an area that's just full of renters, full of whatever. Yeah, an investor can come and buy it off you, but the margins just might not be as great. So you probably want it to be safer for you to go to an area where there's more movement in property prices.